Hello, everyone. It's Friday. It's Chat with Mac. We're glad to have you, especially to our loyal followers. Thank you for listening to us every week. And for those of you that are new to what we do, we welcome you to our little podcast, if you will. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Nadeem, how's the week been going for you, sir? It's been busy for you.
Oh yeah, it's been pretty busy, but I'm having fun. It's been good. A lot of new stuff going on. A lot of the Windows 11 thing. There's some announcements around that.
Yeah.
There's some info, some updates from Microsoft around that. Can't share all of it, but maybe we will. Maybe something will slip out. Who knows?
Well,
But yeah, it's
I
been a busy week.
Yeah, it's exciting as especially as you're talking about Windows, and over the past couple weeks, we've been talking about all the stuff Windows doing from the desktop as a service to Windows 11, and now there's this whole thing with OneNote that they're
Oh yeah.
doing where it's essentially. I didn't know that you had to pick between two OneNote. I don't use OneNote as much as I should, but tell us a little bit about this single OneNote for Windows that they're doing.
So yeah, so traditionally, there was just one version of OneNote, which was a traditional Windows app. Then, when the Windows modern apps came around, we had a separate version of OneNote. So the one for Windows, the traditional version was still there, but then there was a separate one, the modern version of Windows, which was there, which is that OneNote you download from the Windows Store. That's the only place you
Hmm.
can get it. So there were two different versions. There were little differences here and there that little quirky things that were different. But there were some good things in the modern version, and then there were some good things in the traditional version. So it was always a hard, pick and choose, the worst poison, I guess. Uh, so so now with the new announcement that they're going to combine that, that's good news. That's good news for me because they're going to bring some of the good requests out from the modern version and just have it in the traditional one and just merge, and it'll be just one version of OneNote no matter where you are.
Nice.
So the interface is going to be a little different. The layout of things is going to be similar, but slightly different. So yeah, people can get lost in it a little bit, but it's
Mm.
not that hard to wrap your head around. The problem, I think, that Microsoft really needs to fix, and I have no ETA on this and no insight into if they're going to fix it or not, is OneNote sometimes, if you have a lot of content in a note, it has problems syncing with iOS devices.
Mm.
It will give you an error up at the top. It will say, we're having problems syncing this. No, it will still update the latest updates. Like if you add a little text, even though it's saying we're having trouble synchronizing, it will update what you added down there. But what it's having trouble synchronizing is some of the graphics, or maybe you have screenshots in your note somewhere in some page, and it's not able to sync that. But that's annoying because can you really trust that every time it's going to sync everything else, just not some of those items? Or
Right.
now in the past, the way I've fixed it is I've totally closed out OneNote on my iOS devices, and then I've cleared the cache. You can go into settings, and then there's a reset option. You can choose the reset, so that clears any local only changes that have been made. And then you open the OneNote again from your OneDrive or wherever it's at, so you get that whole copy synced back down. In the past, it always used to work for me, but now recently it has stopped doing that. So even if I open a fresh copy, it will still give me like, hey, we're not able to sync some things. It doesn't show what things, but usually my notes have a lot of stuff in them, and it's a lot of graphics and stuff. So maybe that's what's causing it. But that's something that I really need Microsoft to fix so that we can rely on OneNote no matter what device we are on. Or sometimes I do this. You just use the built-in Note app in iOS, or iPhone OS, or whatever, iPad OS, or whatever it is, because OneNote just kind of fails when it comes to sync on other devices, which so that's one thing. The other thing that I have a problem with OneNote is uh, if you run the traditional OneNotes under Windows, you can record audio, and as you are typing, it syncs the typed text with the audio, and which is great for like if you're in a class and you're taking notes while the teacher is giving you giving a lecture, and you're recording it, because as you type, it syncs that text to what was being said at that time. And that's a great feature to have, right? So if you're in a meeting and you type something, then it kind of syncs whatever you're typing with whatever the audio is. The audio recording does not let you do that on iOS or iPad OS.
Oh, really?
Which is just a pain. So basically, just for, I mean, I've seriously considered getting like a Windows-based tablet just for that one feature, but that's like just use something else.
Right.
So yeah, I think the visual changes are great, but I hope they also do some work on the back end and fix those sync issues and bring the audio and text sync to iOS devices. That would be, I think that would be huge, for me. And especially, I mean, a lot of students, they take notes in OneNote, and if they can do it on an iPhone or an iPad, it's that much easier. Yeah, I know Microsoft wants them to use Windows tablets, but that's not always, the way it works.
That's true.
So with the new philosophy, bring the OS to every device. I think they need to start bringing that, and if they can, fix some of those issues and bring some of those features over into iOS, man, I've been using OneNote for years now, and I mean, the thing is, I could take a picture, I can make notes, I can draw arrows on it. I mean, everything in OneNote, and then I can share it with somebody. And that's, I mean, like when I go into like one of the VCIO meetings, or when I go into, any kind of new prospect meeting or something like that, that's what I'm doing, is I'm taking my notes in OneNote, because it's so free form, unlike Word or anything else. It's just free form, and you can just, draw things out. It even has some good math equation option. So, if you're writing equations with a pencil, it will convert them to actual equations. So it works pretty good. But, some of these little things are a problem.
So now I just want to, for those of you that aren't really well versed on OneNote, is exactly what Nadeem just described. It's essentially a digital notebook. You can put just about, and it is amazing. I'm actually, the more I think about it, the more I'm thinking like I need to start using it a little bit more. But like Nadeem says, you can take notes, you can scribble notes, you can do all of that, and it saves it and syncs it, as you're working. It's a phenomenal. I don't think it's used as much as it should be, quite honestly.
I think it's better than note taking on a paper pad, because you can take a picture with your camera and then annotate on that, and that's huge. I mean, I've been known to take, like when I'm in a meeting and I'm drawing out something on a whiteboard so everybody can see, and at the end I'll just take a picture with my device, which will be my iPhone or iPad, whatever it is. But what I'm doing is I'm putting it into OneNote so I can later annotate on that, because I'm learning from it. Like, okay, I made this, but it would have been better if I had done it this way. So just for that purpose, you can't do that on a paper. I mean, to do it on a paper, you'll have to like draw everything back out again. It's a lot of work.
And you got pages of notes, that can easily be lost. Whereas, with OneNote, you can have that information in perpetuity.
And everybody, if you didn't know, if you use Microsoft OneNote, and if you save that OneNote book in your personal OneDrive, it does not use capacity out of your that 5 gig capacity out of your personal OneDrive. So you're not going to use up your capacity no matter how big your notebook gets. So in other words, if you have 5 gig capacity in your OneDrive and you had a 5 gig notebook sitting in your OneDrive, you have 5 gig available. You haven't used that 5 gig. So yeah, Microsoft's really, I think, doing some good things, but some little niggles here and there. They need to fix that.
I mean, of course, I mean, in not everything can be perfect, but a lot of what Nadeem is saying is some of those things that could help bring it to the next level. Because I'm telling you, I was just reading, everything, a lot of the stuff that Microsoft has coming down the pipeline, and my goodness, man, I don't know. Uh, you said something in one of our past, videos. It almost seems as if Microsoft is kind of looking at Apple and saying, we might have to step up some things or look at some things we were wrong about, and do this and do this and do this. And now you're seeing all of this stuff coming out, and I'm actually personally excited for the desktop as a server, that the virtual desktop. I really, really want to see how that's going to play out and see if it works as well as what I think it will. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people are looking forward to that. I mean, even though it is targeted more towards the consumer side of things, there's a lot of MSPs and IT companies out there who are going to use that and resell it as a service, just because they don't either they don't have the knowledge, expertise, or they just don't want to learn how to create machines in using WVD or anything like that. It's just because it's so easy to launch machines this way. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of companies who are going to start using that. I mean, in our little group where we have MSPs from all around the U.S., and there's a lot of MSPs who are saying, oh yeah, that's game changer, we're going to use that. And I'm more of the thought process that we've already had it as MSPs. It's something called WVD. We've had it for a while now, and that gives us a lot more flexibility. But this is something where it's almost like cookie cutter. Anybody can buy it and launch it. You don't need to be an expert or anything at this to do this. So yeah, I mean, anybody will be able to launch a Windows machine and connect to it from their iPad. I mean, how good is that? Windows on your iPad.
That's pretty nice.
So yeah, but keep an eye out for these OneNote changes. Those are going to be some good, welcome changes. I hope they fix some of these little issues that have been kind of lingering on iOS and some of the other platforms. But I think OneNote is just one of those applications that once you get used to it, it's hard to live without. You wonder, how did you do without something like this? I mean, all my historic notes, everything, it's all in there. So I think with that, Mac, we'll call it a day. We'll make it quick, and everybody have a great day. We'll see you next week. Mac will see us next Friday, but I will see you probably Monday. Hopefully everything goes well.
Yep. Everybody have a good weekend.
Be safe out there.
Bye.